What's up, fam? This your boy Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. It's not looking good for Lil Durk. He went to court today trying to get his case thrown out and the judge refused to do it. He said, "You're standing trial because I feel like it's enough evidence to convict you." Now, this is a federal case. Cameras not allowed in the courtroom, but it's reported that Lil Durk cut his dreads off and he appears to be skinnier. I'm like, no shit. He in jail, he's stressing. Think about it like this. I live a regular life. I got a regular chick. I did a day in jail. I was culture shocked. I couldn't handle it. It was depressing. And what shocked me the most about jail was not being in jail itself, it's how everybody was acting. Because before I went to jail, I assumed that jail is full of sadness, it's quiet, it's a somber mood. But boy, was I wrong. I went to jail, niggas skipping, arm wrestling, tickling each other, smiling. Everybody's in a great mood. Meanwhile, my ass is like, man, I'm ready to go home. I'm trying to make bail. So I understand how Lil Durk feel. Cause put yourself in his shoes. He has a beautiful wife. He has millions of dollars. He used to flying on private jet. So now he in the feds. He ain't got access to India no more. He feel like everybody turned on him. He don't know who telling, who snitching. So if I'm Lil Durk, I'll be dropping weight too. I know he going through hell right now. Lil Baby turned on him. You remember when Lil Durk was free? Lil Baby was his right-hand man. They did an album with each other. They was jamming. The moment Lil Durk gets locked up, Lil Baby unfollows him on Instagram and started linking up with NBA Youngboy. Now, if they ain't no foul shit, I don't know what is. But anyway, guys, I'm going to read this article because it's going to break it down some more, and you're going to realize it ain't no way Lil Durk coming home because the OTF snitch has been revealed. Listen to this. Boom! This is what the article says. Rapper Lil Durk can't duck murder for hire charges. That's a play on words, but let's continue. Chicago rapper Lil Durk on Tuesday failed to convince a judge to throw out the murder for hire charges against him and 5 of his associates based on the argument that the government's indictment is so vague that they can't prepare a proper defense. Now, this is a desperate move by Lil Durk. Now, I understand he got high-power lawyers. He paid a lot of money for them. But it seemed like his lawyer is not trying to defend his innocence. It seemed like his lawyer is trying to find a loophole. He's trying to beat around the bush. He said, hey, I don't think this is fair. I want the judge throwing off the case, and I think the case is so vague that I can't even properly defend Durk. But the judge read over the indictment, read over the motion, and came back and said, hell no, you got to defend this man. So it looks like Lil Durk is going to trial. Now, it might get pushed back, but nonetheless, his ass is going to trial. But let's continue. Federal prosecutors accused the Grammy-winning hip-hop artist whose legal name is Dirk Banks of having offered a bounty for the murder of a rival rapper. But Christy O'Connor, one of Banks' attorney, said at a hearing in downtown Los Angeles that the indictment is impersonal vague about the specifics of what the bounty was and how it was offered. Now, let me say this. Everybody is hopeful that Lil Durk is going to get released. Everybody saying he got a chance. Everybody saying Lil Durk is gonna beat the feds. You seen how Young Thug beat the Rico. You see how Young Thug got off his case. These are the feds. This is a murder for hire. They said they got hard drives of evidence against Lil Durk. They got corroborating witnesses. They got former OTF members. So if you in Lil Durk's shoes, you are in a world of trouble. Ain't nothing more important than a snitch. A juror here, a snitch talking, somebody that used to be your right-hand man, somebody who got intel on the whole gang. Once they hit the stand, if I'm a middle-aged juror, I'm believing them. I'm gonna believe everything they say. If they say Lil Durk is a monster, they saying Lil Durk will put bounties on people, and then you start listening to Lil Durk music, you gonna be like, damn, maybe he was. That's just the facts, man. I know y'all want to remain optimistic. I know y'all want to remain hopeful because it would be a success story. If Lil Durk beat this case, he would be the biggest rapper alive. Oh, he really gonna pop his shit then, but I just don't think it's likely. I'm not rooting against Lil Durk. I'm not praying on his downfall. I'm just being realistic. It seems like Lil Durk have a uphill battle to beat this case. But let's continue. When you have an indictment this vague, you can't fill in the blanks with material the grand jury didn't see. O'Connor said, the grand jury has been usurped. Okay, let's continue reading. We scroll down. Typically, prosecutors will present their evidence behind closed doors to a grand jury to determine if there is probable cause that a defendant has committed a crime. According to O'Connor, while the government has given the defense perpetrated evidence such as music videos, the attorneys don't know whether that evidence was shown to the grand jury as proof of Banks somehow offering a bounty or it's evidence intended to be introduced at trial. O'Connor also claimed that a key government witness, identified only as Protected Witness 1, told investigators that he hadn't been offered a bounty at all to participate in the murder attempt on Banks' rival in LA 3 years ago, in which a cousin of the target was killed. This, she said, creates the danger that the prosecution is shifting its theory of the case and that the defendants will be confronted with a trial by surprise. Now, let me say this. Everybody was saying that Lil Durk is coming home. Everybody was saying that a witness had changed the story. Everybody was saying that it shows that the witness has been tampered with. I'm not buying it. I know y'all like to think that the feds offered the witness less time, coerced them into a confession, but it's just a matter of what goes on in jail. When you initially get locked up with your co-defendants, you're going to try to remain strong. You're going to try not to snitch. But the longer you stay in jail, the longer you see everybody turn on you, you're going to knock on the detective's door. Hey, man, I got to tell y'all the truth. I'm trying to get the hell up out of here. And I think that's what happened. I think that witness at first was trying to remain tall, chest out. But once he started reading the motions, once he spoke with his lawyer, he's like, there's no way I can beat this. Let me go ahead and tell the truth. Let me go ahead and tell on Lil Durk. And I really think that's what happened. I'm just being real with you guys. Let's continue. U.S. District Judge Michael Fitzgerald, however, said the defense wasn't entitled to a blueprint of the prosecution's opening statement and that the defense attorneys would be able to cross-examine the government witnesses at trial to show the jury if they had changed the story. The Barack Obama appointee denied the motion to dismiss the indictment, which he said met the requirements used in the Ninth Circuit, but he postponed a ruling on the defense request for a bill of particulars that would spell out what the prosecutors believe Banks said and did to direct the hit on his rival. Fitzgerald also rebuffed Banks' request that the judge recuse himself from the case because the prosecution had waited 7 months to disclose to the defendants that death threats had been made against the lead prosecutor on the case, as well as against a magistrate judge, who earlier this year had denied Banks and the others bail after deciding they were a flight risk and a threat to the community. Now, that's a good point. Of course, Lil Durk is going to be denied bail. He ain't been acting right since he was in jail. He done got put in violations for using the phone, misconduct on a jail recall. He got caught with an Apple Watch, and when they caught him with it, he tried to destroy it. So they can't trust Lil Durk in the free world. He got money, he got power, he got influence. He can persuade witnesses not to testify. He can coerce people to change their stories. So I'm not surprised that Lil Durk is getting no bail. I'm just being real on that. I don't think the judge is doing him wrong. All the things he did in jail, why would you give Lil Durk bail? And you remember when he first got arrested? They said he was trying to get the hell out of the country. Once they arrested his co-defendants, Lil Durk seen it on the news. He got that phone call and he was trying to board a flight to Dubai, some shit. So yeah, you can't give him bail. Let's continue. Although the threats weren't made by the defendants, the fact that the prosecutor haven't told the defense attorneys about them when they went before the magistrate judge to argue for pretrial release has tainted the entire proceeding, said Drew Finley, another lawyer representing Banks. They looked at this as a serious threat, Finley told the judge. There's no rationale for letting us walk in front of Magistrate Judge Donahue and make fool of ourselves. We truly had a ridiculous hearing. To state the obvious, Judge Donahue was in no position to consider Mr. Banks was too dangerous to be released while having been both personally threatened by someone perpetrating to act out on Mr. Banks' behalf. Banks said in his bid to disqualify not only the judge presiding over the case, but the entire bench of the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, as well as the U.S. Attorney's Office in L.A. Now, I agree with Durk on that. Just because some nutcases on the internet is a fan of mine, he's threatening the judge, talking about if you convict Durk, we gonna riot, we gonna kill you. That ain't got nothing to do with him. That don't mean Lil Durk set that up. Lil Durk is a famous rapper. He has fans. He's a drill rapper, so his fans ain't the smartest. They are very low IQ. So they gonna try to hold court in the streets. If something don't go their way, they gonna threaten the judge, and they really think that's work. They really think they gonna send a threat to the judge, and she gonna let Lil Durk go just because they said so. The real world don't work like that, man. The streets may work like that, but that shit don't get you nowhere in the real world, especially in the federal court system. I'm just being real. Let's continue reading, man. Banks and his co-defendants demanded an evidentiary hearing into the threats, and the prosecutor's response to it asked that the case be stayed. Fitzgerald rejected this request as well, saying that even if a defendant would threaten a judge in open court, that wouldn't be a good reason for a judge to recuse themselves. If it were to work like that, it would give an incentive to a defendant to make such a threat just to derail a prosecution, he said. Banks was arrested a year ago in Florida on charges that he orchestrated the attempted 2022 revenge killing of rapper Quando Rondo at a LA gas station, a shooting that resulted in the death of Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Pop. He is charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire in the slaying of the cousin, 24-year-old Sabiah Robinson. 5 members of Banks' Chicago-based rap collector Only the Family, or OTF, have also been charged. Now that's interesting, because it said 5 of the members has been charged. And according to reports, 4 of those members was in court with Durk. And Durk was laughing with him. He was joking with him. He was smiling. It seemed like he was in a great mood. But one of his co-defendants was missing from this court hearing. And that is OTF Vonnie. Now, we all heard rumors about him snitching. His dad doing interviews saying OTF Vonnie is telling he don't want to ride for Durk. He trying to get a chance to come home, raise his daughter, spend some time with his loved ones. He's not taking this case for Durk. So it's very interesting that he's not at this court hearing. And that further proves that he might just be the snitch. Because at first, everybody was talking like it was just an internet rumor. It's easy to say OTF Vonnie is snitching. We don't know for sure, but him not being at this hearing, it kind of do look suspicious. And I looked at OTF Vonnie. I don't know why they would even do a crime with him. I can look at him and say he ain't about that. This nigga look like a manager from Best Buy, so why would you put this nigga on a murder for hire case with you? You know he gonna fold when he go to jail. And what done happened? Everybody else trying to remain strong. Everybody else trying to remain optimistic. And OTF Vonnie is allegedly turning state and looking out for himself. Now, I knew this was gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna be the only co-defendant that turns state. I think a lot of people gonna smack some sense into him, and they're gonna be like, hey, wait a minute. I love Durk in the free world. He was a famous rapper. I can hang with him. He give me a little money, get the bad women. But I'm locked up. He's locked up. He can't do shit for me now. So now's the time for me to look out for myself. I'm gonna try to get the best deal for me, even if it hurts Lil Durk's case. And I think that's the mindset a lot of people gonna have. Now I know the fans can't understand it, because y'all still believe in that no snitching code. Y'all still believe that street niggas got a code that no snitching no matter what. Even if I get locked up, even if I'm innocent, I'm a street nigga. I don't say a word to the police. If they put me in that interrogation room, I'm going to tell the police F them, and I'm going to go to my cell. It don't work like that. Most street niggas get locked up and they do nothing but talk. How you think we got all these informants on the streets? How you think the detectives know everybody's nickname? Know what kind of tattoos everybody got, what kind of gang they in. They are getting those from street niggas. The square dudes ain't snitching. The street dudes is telling everything. They telling you where your mama stay. They telling who you shot, what gang you in, where your baby mama live. So that's how the police is getting all this information. So it don't surprise me, man. And I do think OTF Vonnie is snitching. It only makes sense. I'm just being real with you guys. But yeah, man, that's all I got right now. It looked like Lil Durk got to go to trial. It looked like he got to prove his innocence. And we going to see how he come out on top. Let me know how you feel about this whole situation in the comment section. Share this video. I love you guys. Peace.